We're live, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Beer on the please don't put your beer on the
Yeah, don't.
on my computer.
No, like in
But
frame.
like on the I'm grabbing.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we need koozie. You guys.
Yeah. You're right. Hi guys. Yeah. Break it down. Damn. Damn. Damn, that song is so good. It'd have been really good. And I was like, man, that song's so good. I love River Stage. Sorry, that probably sorry.
Man,
that probably
huge fan
peaked
of
really bad.
CBS too.
That probably peaked really bad. I apologize. That's funny though. Oh, I need a koozie too.
Oh,
You have a koozie, don't you? Where? Didn't I?
No.
Damn it.
Oh shit. We're also... Hi guys. Hi. I will not open this beverage right now.
Oh.
I don't know.
What do you mean? What happened to the koozie?
Hi guys.
You grabbed the koozie. Oh.
I'm on podcast today. Oh sweet.
There it is.
Oh, this is a cup. I didn't realize this was. I thought this was like some cool like cup or something. All right. Cool.
Okay, so let me go ahead and grab this mic. Very professional podcast this week.
It's true.
Seth, please cut the beginning of this. Please. Jesus Christ.
That's pretty good. Hold on, I'm attempting. I don't have fingernails right now.
Damn. I don't either.
Oh, business.
Oh. Yo, the one.
You ever been to business? Because we're in it.
Hell yeah. All right, welcome to EX Saturdays, everybody. This week, Seth plays Genshin Impact and pretends to do literally anything in the corner. Next week, he'll be playing Apex Legends in the other room, as I have another guest that stays the night at Seth's house because they had something to do here for more than 5 minutes.
It's true. It's more than 5 minutes. I had to help out with Vortex Gallery today.
Yeah, Vortex Gallery is pretty dope.
Yeah, it was tight. I mean, it's for me. It's always like Chickzama of Vortex Gallery and obviously her own brand and everything. Or sorry, they.
There.
Well, their brand and everything. Pretty much holding it down for BlazBlue, like in general. Like, not even just within West Coast or East Coast or anything. Talking running tournaments for Brazil, China, Europe, basically all regions all over the world. So really happy to see that that's still going strong, right?
Yeah.
We still got people who are signing up for it, and helped out with West Coast a few hours ago.
Yeah. We were just sitting there. The very computer that EX Saturday is being run on also helped run Vortex Gallery.
It's true.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Because I'm not at
And
my
in the
PC,
very same house, while that was happening, we did Matcherino.
That's true. Literally the same room.
The Overdrive event featuring mobile hotspots. That was pretty cool, but it took a while. It took a long time. But that's kind of the nature of the beast with online tournaments. There's a lot of hitches. And it's not like, well, I guess like offline stuff that happened too, right? Because like if you're at an offline tournament, Justin Wong entered 17 games because he wants to make a bunch of money. Then he takes the money that he won and he buys 5,000 pizzas. He did that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've seen that sort of thing happen at even like local stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we have that issue every week. It's like, okay, well, this game shouldn't take too long to run, and then all of the Grand Blue players are also entered in Street Fighter while also being entered in
Strive and
and then they're also playing in a side tournament at the same time because we have side tournaments at Ignite every week, which is great.
I actually, that's something I really wanted to like tap into with Wednesdays. I'd like to try and I guess encourage that more because I honestly wouldn't mind even running some side tournaments for games that I like, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at right now, where it's like if we have the ability to do it, I probably would gladly do it. I just haven't had the planning and or the consoles for it. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a lot of equipment and it's a lot of stuff, but it can be done, and a lot of that can be mitigated by community people bringing it. But when you tell the people, hey, you got to bring your stuff, and then they show up empty-handed,
right?
They're like, well, like, how do I play? And I was like,
yeah,
you're killing me here.
I mean, that's a lot of it. I mean, we can only do so much with what we have at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And granted, we do a lot when it comes to like everything that Lokic does, and the people that help run it. There's lots of stuff going on 4 days of the week.
Yeah.
4 days of the week, because we have Tuesdays, we have Wednesdays.
Yep.
There are Fridays, and then there's Sundays. So, and that's not like including all of the prep time for the people behind the scenes.
Of course.
Shout outs to Dave the Legend.
Dave, the God, who should be
legend.
shouted out during literally everything.
Pretty much everything, yeah.
Because the future stuff that we have cooking for you guys, especially related to Roundhouse, I'm sure you guys will be really excited to hear that good news. But that time will come.
It's true.
In the near future.
Speaking of the near future, we got Melty Blood coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, Melty Blood comes out next week.
That's so weird to think. It's weird to think.
Dude, it feels so strange that came so fast. So, like, Melty Blood, and everybody's like, holy shit, new Melty Blood. And then, like, Majid Obama shit on a whole bunch of people for a while. And it was like, yo, you're trash for liking Melty Blood. You're also trash for hating it. Like,
that's tight.
That's the Majid Obama tech. He just gaslights the internet.
Well, it's the idea that it's like for years. I mean, to be fair, every time I shouldn't say to be fair, but every time way back when, obviously everybody was talking shit about Melty way back when it was, when people were playing it. But
tired joke.
Yeah, obviously, right? But we're in a different era where there are way more people who even just like fighting games now.
It's true.
There's way more people than back then who are just playing the games casually, and a lot of people who are now grinding it, right? There's way more competitive players now than there were before because of the flow of information. That's a huge thing. Wow, I get a full scene to myself.
Yeah, you get a whole little thing.
What's
it's
happening
nice.
with that? Are we focusing good?
Yeah, we're focusing great.
All right, that's good.
Looks great on my new 144 hertz monitor that I bought using the money from an event. And at that event previous that I ran, I broke the last 144 hertz monitor.
No.
So when I got paid, I took the money from the last thing to buy the new thing. And everybody's like, oh yeah, TOs are getting all this money. It was $180.
I mean, that's just, nobody, I'm going to say it right now, no TO gets into TOing for the money.
You can't.
Literally.
Even if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Even if you really, really wanted to, you're an idiot. You'd have to be an idiot. Because, the thing, I should say TOing specifically.
We're incredibly naive.
For, the FGC. We all know the truth,
Yeah.
We've all sat down, you've talked to other TOs, and all the other TOs tell you, why would you ever try that? That's a stupid thing to do. You know you're going to lose money. A new game comes out, you got to buy the new game, you got to buy all the DLC. You got to buy monitors, and you got to buy setups because not everybody's going to bring their stuff. Hey, you got to pay for commentators because you got to pay your commentators because you should always pay your commentators. Hey, you got to pay your staff, and you got to pay, and it just keeps going because you're not going to run it by yourself.
Right.
And it's like by the end of it, even in a big event, when you do a huge thing, you're walking away with nothing. There were, before I owned Low Kick, the last big event that we did, I was fortunate enough to not own Low Kick because as an owner of Low Kick, when the business takes an L, I don't get paid. The staff gets paid, but we lose on that. And I remember getting a fat paycheck from working working that event. It was 3 days. I was there, the night before and then the day of and then the next day. And Jackson was tight. It's we lost a ton of money, and it's
reasonably so, right?
It's to be expected. Yeah. It's to be expected. Yeah, so I remember seeing that discussion on Twitter, and how that goes with Twitter people. Everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, dude, the TOs are stuffing their pockets. They're getting so much money, and the commentators have to be getting paid decent." And that's yeah, they ain't getting it like that. No. It's not crazy. I mean, there are definitely some tours that it's
they will pay.
It's not life-changing amounts of money.
But they'll pay solid.
But if you quit your job, you get to eat out more than once a week.
For sure. I mean, you look at the people who are traveling literally every other week for TWT and stuff like that, right?
Oh, they're fucked. They're fucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The people that are traveling for TWT. Oh, you mean as a I thought you meant player.
No, hell no, no, not players. I'm talking commentators.
Oh, yeah.
Commentators, like if you're doing TWT and you're doing it every other week, you're traveling to a new event. For
Oh
that,
yeah, you're doing all right.
then you're doing pretty good. You know, all things as far as the FGC goes, right? When you look at like what the general way commentators are getting paid and everything, because if you know anything about how people get paid behind the scenes, it's incredibly inconsistent for a lot of them.
Oh, absolutely. I've definitely been on the receiving end of, hey, I worked about 4 or 5 hours of commentary. I walked away negative $1,100 from an event. You know, that's not a thing every commentator has to deal with. But it is a thing that some commentators have to.
I would even say that a lot of even successful commentators have had to deal with that at some point.
At some point,
it hits you at some point throughout your commentary career.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never done commentary for anything really. I mean, I guess I did commentary for gear. Frosty's like 2 years ago, maybe.
Oh, that's neat.
But I mean, it was pools, right?
Yeah.
It was pools. So, it's more or less volunteer and whatnot, which is fine. I'm fine with that personally, but that's also because I'm not trying to make a living out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like
here's the thing: you probably shouldn't make a living out of that.
I mean, everybody
Probably shouldn't.
I think like Sajam has unveiled all the tech when it comes to specifically commentary. He's just like, hey, you can't just be a commentator and expect to make a ton of money.
Right.
We all know that. Like, it's not like he's like telling some like secret shit. Like, I remember he put out a video, like it was like sometime this week, because I always catch everything he puts out. He puts out good content. But he was saying, you shouldn't expect to be able to make a living off of that. And it's like, this is not a surprise.
No, it's not.
You ever watch James Chen's Twitch channel at like 1 a.m. and he explains like 1,000 times. He's like, yo, you know how much money I lose doing commentary? The man's a programmer.
Yeah.
He could be doing that and actually making actual money.
Yeah.
But he's not. That's just the reality of it. It's like, it's not enough where you're like, I'm comfortable.
Obviously, I mean, he's also living out in California.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Same thing with Sajam, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you know what anything like is out there, right, where everything's taxed to hell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, I mean, we know a little something about living in the state of Illinois.
I live in the city of Chicago.
That's true.
And I smoke.
Yeah. I've seen it. It's ridiculous.
I'm upset.
I mean, I've seen it in Wisconsin, and it's still expensive at different parts.
Man, Wisconsin.
Let's go.
Shout out to Lizard Man, though.
Shout out to Lizard Man.
That's
straight
it.
up.
That's it.
Man, he came through in the cargo shirt.
Yes, the cargo. Yo,
The cargo shirt.
The cargo shirt. It's funny that you say this because the cargo shirt was the same shirt that you wear for Service Charlies in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, no,
It's the same shirt. And I was like, dude, where did you get that? He's like, I got it on Amazon for like $12. And I was like,
You're like, oh,
I paid like $70 every time. Every time I got more fat, I had to buy a new one. Because they gotta like,
it's really good.
Fit it and all that stuff.
Right, for sure.
You gotta make yourself look nice. Man, dude, I feel like I'm gonna crush a bunch of beers on this podcast this week.
You think so?
Like I can like by the momentum.
I'll probably end up crushing too.
I'm gonna crush probably.
My problem is I'm going out tomorrow.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I can't-
so am I. I gotta go visit my mom. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Nice.
Shout out to my mother, the greatest human.
I'm gonna be in Milwaukee tomorrow.
Oh, big trip. Big trip.
I mean, not that big. Not that big. Just
Okay.
going up to visit. Probably gonna go see my dad
Okay,
since I'll be in the state.
that makes sense.
I should probably stop
Probably
by.
see the guy that
Yeah.
50% created you.
Yeah, it's true. I should probably go say yo.
Hey, you exist.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks, bro.
I'll put that off to the.
I'll just put my elbow on top of that.
No,
for
you could
now.
like.
Very
put it-
nondescript.
just
You
put it
can't
down
see
there.
it at all because it's so far and the camera stuff. These
Huh.
are webcams. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Here, I'm just
But
gonna
I'm glad. I'm glad
put that
that
down there.
like
Appreciate it.
this is this almost makes me feel like we have definitive proof that we could probably stream a local if we wanted to, with very limited equipment.
I mean, that's what people did way back in the day. They
Yeah.
just did. I mean, Spooky would literally just show up with like a bunch of stuff, and he would put together like a scuff stream, but he would put together a stream.
Yeah,
to
but
make sure a local got noticed.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
because it's important. I know that like people, that's like a genuine like thing that I've noticed is if you say, hey, we're having a local at this place, people always ask, is there going to be a stream? Hey, am I going to be on stream? And it's like they're going to get blown out. I'm not going to name names, but there are people that ask that get blown out bad.
Yeah.
They're like, but I want to get blown out on stream. It's like, it's the same game. but it is nice to have your VODs,
Yeah.
to be able to look back at them.
Mm-hmm.
There are definitely some people that are just like, I just want to be on stream because of stream, you know? But the value is there. It advertises the location.
Mm-hmm.
It gets people to get to know players if people watch it.
I mean, it shows people that there is activity. That's like probably the biggest value thing. It shows that there are people coming out and supporting this and building a scene, right?
Yeah.
People like to see people involved and like to see people enjoying themselves in these environments. Not always, obviously, it's not always just a, man, that stream highlight of that dude whipping his pad, that's mad funny, which is mad funny.
It is mad funny.
I'm going to say it right now. That stuff's really, really funny.
Dude,
I laugh at that stuff. That's really good.
I laugh at the person who does it in that moment. Like, that is the best time to do it because it's funny. It's funny. Like, when somebody loses their shit that hard where they're, like, whipping a controller, it's funny because, one, your controller's fucked. Good job on the money you're about to spend. I know you're broke. We all are.
Pads are not cheap.
Pads are not cheap.
Pads
and
are
if you're
not
playing
cheap.
on Xbox 360 controllers, that market's getting real small. Getting tight. You know, you talk to the legend, Pat, Marvel 3 player, Soul Calibur 6 player, Pat. He talks about it all the time. Yo, when we were running Mystery Bracket yesterday, or I should say when Mr. Goo was running it, he walks up and he just goes, where'd they get all those crispy 360 controllers? I was like, no, they're Goo's. They're his.
They are.
Which is a shame because Pat plays on 360 controller, with the exception of, I think he plays Marvel 3 on Hitbox.
Plays Marvel 3 in Battlefield Grid.
Yep.
On Hitbox.
High execution games.
Yeah, it's Battlefield Grid being high execution is really funny to me because
Really funny.
That's hilarious because if for those that don't know what Battlefield Grid kind of functions like, it's more or less you don't have actual motions for your special moves. It's directions and your special button. Think like Smash. It's kind of like that. But it is high intensity execution.
Oh yeah.
Unironically, those combos are really long and some of them are pretty tight.
Yeah.
So, and I dabbled a little bit in it and I was like, damn.
I can't remember what event that I was like, I poked my head in, somebody dropped a plink dash and died. And that was the tournament. I was like, oh, what? Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of execution requirements in that game are like pretty hefty. Like if you mess up, you're just die.
You're dead.
Right?
That's a one-touch game.
That's the marvel in it.
Yeah.
That's the marvel in it. Because when you look at Marvel and you see somebody drop a combo, you know that they just lost.
Yo,
know that that's their chance.
Can we talk about in that shot specifically in the bottom left corner? You can just see my ashy knee. That's it.
Yo, you didn't have to bring that up. Now I'm looking at it. Now I'm looking at it. That is an ashy ass knee.
Oh, that's facts, bro.
You didn't have to bring that up.
I've never heard of lotion in my life.
Damn. Oh no.
You ever there was like a procedure whenever I went to go leave the house when I was a kid. My mom used to say like, Dominique. I'm just like, why? Put some cologne on. I'm just like, what? Why? Did you put lotion on? Did you put lotion on your face?
Yo.
Damn.
You're coming through with it.
Oh, man.
No.
Oh,
wow.
This is nice.
Oh.
Hey, do you come here often? What's going on here?
That's pretty good.
Damn. I'm trying to get in.
He's getting the action. Damn.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
But either way, we've gotten hella distracted. We've got a couple of things that we have coming in the near future. Obviously, Melty Blood is coming out next week. There's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to try and play that game, say that they're godlike at it, get fucked up, and then never play it again. But we have to facilitate those tournaments for as long as they are interested.
It's the cycle.
It's the cycle. The cycle sucks. The cycle fucking sucks. Can I just say that?
I was talking to Chris about that kind of thing because he's fully aware of it.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. He has seen the cycle.
He's seen it probably too many times.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's jaded.
Oh, for sure. And I told him, I was like, straight up, like, I'm gonna be real here. I mean, there are just games where, like, when it comes out, it's okay to not like it. You know what I mean? It's okay. I mean, I'm sure you have your feelings about some games that are coming out.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But it's like...
I don't care about literally any game that's come out in the last 2 years.
But it's a matter of, like, there are people that do, and we do provide...
Absolutely. It's not about me.
Right, exactly.
Right? Like, I'm gonna run your tournaments. Mm-hmm. I want you to be happy. But also, I will say that the cycle, it's like the worst feeling ever. Mm-hmm. When you're like, well, it's time to buy all these setups. get all this DLC, do all of these things, right? And then you go to do it, and when that time comes around, you know, you have that first week 1 tournament, and it's got like everybody's like blowing it up. Yo, this is crazy. Have you seen this setup? This shit's OD, right? Yeah. And then when week 2 comes around, nice. Week 2 comes around, and it's like 60% of the people. And then the week 3 comes around, and it's like 30%.
Right.
And it halves down. Now you have your core demographic.
I mean, yeah, it's the general, like, everyone's past their honeymoon phase, right?
Yeah.
They're like, all right, it's finally, what, we're like 2, maybe 3 months into the game, right? And now people are actually getting good at the game, like, for real. People are starting to, like, really pick up on this stuff.
And once they get good,
the average player, like, when you jump into an online match and the average player is actually pretty decent at the game, and you have to actually try, that's the drop-off.
Yep.
Jump off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for example, you know, my week 1 Potemkin's like, oh, floor 10 Potemkin. I'm like, okay, I actually feel kind of decent at this game, but I just still don't like it. You know, now it's you know, we're a few months into Strive at this point. I'm probably going to be stuck at like the 5th floor getting smoked by scrubs.
No, you'd be at 10.
But
You'd be at 10.
I mean, I don't think that rank system's really good in the first place, but
I think it just needs more. I think that's like
it definitely, dude. I think that they should just
I think it needs
unlock the
more.
Celestial to and like to the galactic.
It's
the
like
galaxy.
okay, it's like okay, you hit floor 10, you went to heaven. Now in between heaven, you need to climb another like 15 or 10 floors or something. You know what I mean? Like whatever, and then you get to galactic and that, you know, all that, right? I feel like that's something that I don't know. There's value in that, right?
Yeah,
because I mean, Street Fighter did grow.
dude. Street Fighter 5
they grew their ranks eventually because people got better.
Street Fighter 5 is the only game that has like a reliably decent ranked system of any fighting game. It's the only one. Like Soul Calibur, it's 2 a.m. You're trying to get a match, you get one. You're playing against somebody who's like 7 tiers below you. Yeah. And when I mean tiers, I mean like, say you're an S, which is the top. You're going to play against somebody who's a D, which is, you know, not just a letter. I mean, letters underneath, but also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Your D1, D2, D3. Yeah, that kind of thing. So that is something that, you know, it's how it is. But in Street Fighter 5, they actually do have a solid rank system.
Yeah, I mean, where you're at.
I mean, it's still populated to this day.
Yeah, absolutely. And because it works.
And so that's another thing, too, about it, is that it's not just because it's Street Fighter. I think it helps it, right? Street Fighter is a very prominent game, a very prominent series, especially in the FGC, right?
Absolutely.
But it also helps a lot that they actually have a competent rank system.
Yes.
You know? It's competent. I wouldn't say it's like, obviously there's room for improvement, but of all of the fighting games currently, it is the best rank system.
That's
like
the one.
Free, right?
That's the
free.
one.
Like you look at Tekken, you look at
I
Strive.
think
Tekken is like
Tekken's is pretty good too.
It's
but
not bad. It's not
the problem
I wouldn't
with
say it's the
Tekken's
worst. It's like
is
middle of
that
the road.
you can farm people.
Yeah.
And therein lies that issue. You can just run a rank set against the same person, and eventually they'll be worth less points. Excuse me.
Eventually,
but
it takes a little too long.
At that point, the thing about that rank system is that you're always going to run into the bum.
Right.
The guy that sucks in that rank that also farmed like you did. That knows a little less gimmicks than you do.
And then
you farm that guy.
Yeah, you farm
and
him.
you keep doing that until you get to the top. Those rank systems don't work too well. But that's kind of like the nature of new games, is that when you have all of these systems in place in the beginning, everything will be very populated. Then people get dusted. Bad veterans. Especially if a game hasn't changed that much. Like, imagine what it was like. I remember I played Launch Tekken 7. Launch Tekken 7, like, you were playing, like, pretty much garbage the whole time. And then you got to anywhere near green ranks, and it was a whole bunch of people who had legitimately actually played that game at least a couple of times in the past. And you're like, all these people kind of know what they're doing. And then beyond that, it just keeps going and going and going. It's wild. Go on by. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah, Tekken ranked, I mean, well, ranked in general is something that, like, to be fair, like, fighting games have now had a lot of time to figure out.
Yes.
By now.
And yet it still sucks.
I think 5 years ago you might have been able to be like, okay, well, fighting games are still trying to figure out online in general. But we've had plenty of time now, I feel, to have that figured out. You know what I mean? We've seen enough examples of also other genres having really good rank systems, too.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you're bronze in League, you're bronze in League. You suck. That's just
Right.
what it is.
Right.
I suck at League. The game told me so. This is pretty objective.
And to be fair, there's also statistical data around that too, right?
Yo.
So that is another big thing. Melty lobbies will save the FGC. Copium.
Yo. So
Copium is the best. All I need is Cope. That's all I need.
Cope.
Cope is so powerful.
Cope is so powerful. And the thing is, it's so real. People just like, oh yeah, dude, X value is gonna save the FGC, and it's so corny to say like, oh, it doesn't need saving. Shut the fuck up. This community can be so fucking garbage so often. It does need saving from something, but it's not a game problem. It's a people problem. But Melty's not gonna save the FGC.
No, it's not gonna be the one. But
I don't think, I'm going to be real, as the person who runs Ignite with Seth, we're going to have 40 people sign up for the first Melty tournament, right? Maybe 50, something like that. It's going to go a little crazy. We are never going to have those numbers again. Not even close. And then the Melty players will just be Melty players, just like the KOF players were KOF players. I remember Aru was talking about this a while ago. He lived in Chicago. He's like, I tried to bring KOF to Chicago, and it just did not fucking work. There are just some games that don't have massive demographics of player bases. This is a very real thing. Street Fighter's always going to have that.
Yeah.
Tekken is always going to have that. There are a lot of games that will always have that. But Melty's not going to have that. It's just not. I know that now. It doesn't matter how good the game is. I
would say it's a little different nowadays, though, considering that French Bread has
they've stepped up the game.
First off, they stuck with the game. Second, they have done more now. As of now, back in Melty Blood, you were just a Melty Blood player if you were playing old Melty. You know what I mean? You were playing a lot of Melty Blood, and maybe you played some other anime games as well. Kind of dabbled, right?
Of course.
But more or less within your wheelhouse, you know. And I would say it's still kind of similar to that. But French Bread has done more throughout the years. They did Dengenki. They did Honor Night for a long time.
Yes.
And apparently planning on still doing more Melty. I'm wondering if that's going to be an actual new version. Like, new game entirely. Not just like an update to Uniclear. Because if it's a Uniclear Plus or something, people are probably going to be upset.
Yeah.
People are probably going to be really upset about that.
Dude, I'm going to be honest. Like, I can't think of a French Bread game that is like... Remember French Bread? Like, French Bread Evo. You had Evo. It had its year. It was massive. But the appeal, like Sam Show was at, Evo?
Yeah.
Obscene amount of people signed up for Sam Show. Immediately, the drop off. It's like some fighting games have to do a better job at capturing their audience. They have to, because this is a real problem that is across the genre, is that you get fucked up, people start to get decent, and then you just never play the game again. This is a legitimate issue. And obviously, as a tournament organizer, you want to see more people play in your brackets. Right. And they can't because they have no confidence, because the game isn't teaching them anything. They're not learning anything from the game. So they're getting blown out.
This is an interesting dilemma to be in, because it's like fighting games in general. When I think about fighting games, I think about just learning them most of the time. I mean, you know me, I'll lab things for games.
For hours.
For actual hours. I'm not asking everybody to be that sort of way, right? I don't want that. Because obviously not everybody wants that, you know?
No.
I mean, you're not that kind of player.
No.
At all. But it's like...
I want you to know right now on stream, forever, if I've ever beat you in a tournament, I do not practice.
True.
So you suck.
Plays the game. Just play the game.
Just play the game.
Play
You're
the game.
bad.
But it's a case of the general attitude around fighting games is not first to have a good time and maybe learn, right? Your objective is always, I need to get this win. A lot of people fall into that line of thought.
Yeah.
They fall into that line of thought, and
they stop getting that win, and then they're like,
damn,
well,
time to try a new game that I might be good at, right? But it's that's a similar problem that's been going on for years. You know what I mean? For probably forever.
For the genre.
Right, exactly. For probably forever.
And it's a unique issue as a FGC organizer, because it's not like we're like Will English. He runs Valorant and he runs Overwatch. He also does fighting game stuff. But he does far more Valorant and far more Overwatch. Why? Because it's one fucking game. The people that play one fucking game. And it doesn't matter how bad they are, they go, well, we only have this one fucking game.
We play it.
So we'll play this game.
Yeah.
If you suck at a fighting game, don't worry. NRS got you.
Yo.
It'll be right out of the court.
Yo.
You know, it's, hey,
that is true. They're definitely
when's Injustice 3? You know,
I mean, everybody's already saying it. right?
Dude, Injustice 3 is going to come out.
You know what the best part is that it's not even supposed to be Injustice Free, I don't think.
Yeah, they were saying it's like a Marvel game.
Yeah, they're
and
gonna have Marvel properties now.
Because I'm going to be real, I don't like NRS games at all. I think they suck. I'm just saying that now. I have never played an NRS game that I thought was fun. Now, Midway, though.
Damn.
MK9, though.
I was gonna say MK9.
MK9. Okay, it's kind of.
I don't know. Look, so my problem with MK9 is that like, I never really got to play it like for real, because I didn't own it for a long time. And then when I did own it, everybody was playing MKX.
Yes.
So then I ended up playing that, and I was like, man, it just feels mad weird. That's my ultimate issue is that like, and I've talked to other people about this where it's like when a new fighting game comes out, you know me, I will try most fighting games, right?
I try every fighting game.
Because
I have to buy them.
Right. I'm saying I will try probably any fighting game because that's just what I do. I try all different types of games, you know? I mean, I recently expanded into MMOs.
Let's go.
That game's tight.
Welcome to Final Fantasy 14.
That game's
baby.
tight, by the way.
That game's sick.
Just get past ARR. That is unfortunately the hardest thing.
Dude,
but
Seth is like slightly grimacing. It's like a slight smile in the back, like in front of us. Like he's like, just get past ARR. Yo, ARR fucking sucks, but the rest of the game's really good. So,
but regardless, you know, I'll try lots of different things, you know, but not. I mean, a lot of people will move on to the next thing. Like lots of people who are playing Strive, and are realizing
they're
like,
already on to the next
they're
thing.
trying. No, that's what I'm saying. Melty's coming out.
They're there.
And they're there because they don't want to be on Strive because people are finally getting better at Strive.
The pop players that used to be able to just do hammer, fall, break, what do you call it? Pop buster 3 times and kill somebody can't do that anymore.
Right. People have learned, but they know better now.
They can hold up at the second one. So now they're like, well, it's time to play Melty. Maybe there'll be a godlike.
They can hold up or they can backdash or something, right?
Whatever. They know the defensive options.
Right.
But that's going to happen with every game. But it shouldn't. Games, you should be able to latch onto a game. A game should have enough quality and enough features where people are like, not only do I like this game, the game's ecosystem makes it welcoming. I want to stay here. That's a problem. Like, dude, like League of Legends is busted because you got skins and you can unlock the skins by just playing the game way too much. But you want to unlock that free skin, and the game throws opportunities to get free skins at you all the time.
Yeah.
It's like gacha. FGC needs like something like gacha, something to get people like viciously addicted.
That's a volatile take.
That's all it needs.
That is a volatile take.
Oh, and Jamie over in the front said Granblue, but that game is boring.
Damn.
That game's really boring.
Damn.
I mean, dude, it's like there's been obviously EX Saturdays has seen many different iterations, and we've never just been able to just talk. That game is really boring. I don't care.
It's so weird because I've seen way back in the day. I remember sitting at a meeting at Raid Gaming Lounge.
Ah, yes.
On table.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, wow, I would really like to be involved in this podcast. That they never came until today.
Yeah. into the regular version of the podcast where you actually get to say.
But here's the thing. This is like my favorite form of podcast.
It's true. It's true.
I like when people are just talking, I guess.
Yeah, people just like talking about shit. It's like it's relevant. It's news. You get to stay informed. CSB is my model, in my mind, for the perfect podcast.
I mean, there's a reason that they're an incredibly popular podcast.
Great. They're great. They keep you informed on the things you care about. They also talk about fucking Michael Jordan gambling addiction for a little too long.
It was really good, though.
But it was really good.
I liked it, yeah.
That was a really good segment.
It was good, yeah.
And it's like, dude, if I was to just like, if it was back in the day when it was myself and it was Seth, Seth got dragged in. He was not supposed to be part of it. He just got dragged in. He was supposed to just be the streamer, as he is right now. And then one day, Dan was like, you're on. And then Dan, Seth was on. So we had 4 people. And when we had 4 people, it was great. Because it was like we were just all buddies talking about the things. But it was so rigid. And that rigidity really, really staunches conversation. I'm an outspoken person. It's very difficult for me to not tell people how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to, like, get my opinion, and it's obviously, this is my opinion.
Mhm.
If you play Grand Blue and you love Grand Blue, ain't nothing stopping you from loving Grand Blue. I just
facts.
think that the game's fucking boring. And it's really hard for me to, like, even... I can't appreciate it. It's so dry. It's so dry. But Grand Blue players love it. So fuck my opinion. But my opinion is present. For the people that agree with it, they're having a good time. If you don't agree, you get to get mad.
There's value in that.
There's value in both.
That's true.
I think it's really bizarre that people are like, oh yeah, you don't like that thing I like? It's time for me to be toxic. And it's like, you don't gotta be toxic about it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just think it sucks.
I mean, I know how you feel about, I guess, anime, right?
Yeah.
As far as anime fighters, not anime, the medium.
It's like
But
me
specifically-
and Christian are very different people.
Yeah.
Christian plays anime games.
As far as what we like to play in our free time and kind of do,
and lab
as far
out,
as like fighting games and whatnot.
we are opposites in so many different ways.
There is-
I refuse to practice. Christian labs every moment of his life
I do
in
like
games
laughing,
he
too.
doesn't play.
It's true.
And then he plays mad anime, and every time I look at somebody jump in the air and air dash, I get upset. Like, I hate air dash. I play pot. Part of the reason I play pot is because he's incapable.
He doesn't have to interact with that system entirely.
He just straight up doesn't do it. It's
Yeah.
great. I could just play Nago and, be better. That's a real good character.
Oh, it's true. He's that dude's top 3. He's messed up. He's so good.
He's
so good.
I can't even entertain the fact that I care, right? Because it's like, I watched like Punk versus Hotashi. That was pretty interesting. And the only reason it was interesting is people were talking shit. Like, I think the only games that I genuinely like enjoy watching people like really just beat each other up in, regardless of character, because that's a big thing. I think that, like, for example, when I go to a tournament, when I'm running a tournament, I always ask, any pot players in here? And if there are pot players, I'll watch their matches. Because I like pot. Pot's cool. He's the only character I care about in that game. Everybody else sucks.
Yeah, but you're saying like if it's like 2 Jackal players or something.
Yeah, if it's two
or,
Jackal,
like,
I don't give a fuck.
whatever.
I don't care. That character's whack. Whack. I don't care how many mods Seth sticks on her. She's still whack.
Damn.
I don't care. Like, but I like Pot. Pot's cool. He's interesting to watch. I don't care if it's Pot mirrors. It's entertaining.
Well, the nice thing is there's quite a few pot players.
Yeah,
in
there's
our region,
actually there's a pretty good amount of Pot players.
There's probably I've seen like 5 now.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like
There's quite a few.
at your local,
Yeah.
at our local.
At my local, it was literally
3.
there were 3. Like, and they were like back to back to back to back to back in the tournament. I was like, damn.
But
Damn.
like if I find a game to be boring, I'll still have a character that's like, pretty good.
Yeah.
But
there are games that you don't care about necessarily.
yeah,
me as
it's
a
like
character.
they're
The game itself is interesting enough.
the game is
to
interesting
watch.
enough. I think the only exception, Seth got to see this in real time because I'm over here all the fucking time. Fong was on the screen and I was like, change it. Like I was like skipping ahead, and he's like, put it back. Nobody plays Fong. This character is tight. And it's like, this character's stupid. I hate him. I hate the
See,
way
I
he
can't
looks.
even say that that's like not a thing with even some of my favorite games.
Yeah, I mean, even your
Like-
favorite
like-
games. Dude, you think I want to watch Talum just
I was
Rubbing
like
her-
actually thinking tall and
her rubbing her face across the stick? And it's like, well, react. Like, I don't like watching that. That shit sucks. But I do like watching like the majority of the Soul Calibur cast. There are very few characters in Soul Calibur I don't enjoy watching
I kind of
at
like
a high level.
I kind of like watching people have to deal with Wrath.
I do. I love watching people
Watching
do
people
it.
deal with Wrath is actually a really good time.
Dude, so I was saying I really enjoy watching people like fighting Yoshi. And then I realized
Yoshi's
I
cool.
just enjoy fighting Yoshi.
I mean, Yoshi's cool.
People ask me all the time, they're like, man, you talk mad shit about the cast of Soul Calibur. What characters do you enjoy? And it's like, I like fighting Yoshi. That's the one. I like fighting that guy.
I wish I liked playing him. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool character. But, I love watching Mono play. This Fong is sick.
Yeah, I mean, like, but you know that guy. So you care. You don't give a
Oh,
shit
no.
about Fong. You give a shit about Mono because he's a great dude. Mono's great. I'll watch him, But you don't give a fuck about Fong. Nobody gives a fuck about Fong. This is the wackest Street Fighter V unique character that they have put out. And they put Ed in that game. And Ed also sucks.
That was not even the first character I thought of. I thought of Abigail.
Abigail. Oh man, Abigail. Abigail, dude, that character.
I will say though, Street Fighter 5 does have some winners.
It does have some winners.
Street Fighter 5 has some winners.
I didn't ask for Lucia at all. I don't like her, but I can't say that she doesn't do cool shit. She's a cop, so fuck her. But she does cool
Let's
shit.
go. Yeah.
Like Lucia does cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty entertaining. I think Manada's a really cool Street Fighter 5 character.
I like Zeku.
Zeku's really cool too. It's just Strider.
Yeah.
He's even got the swing.
Yeah. When he does the kick, the I don't know the move.
Street Fighter 5's got some dubs, dude. Like, but man, do they got some L's. Ed and Fong are giant L's. But as a game, I can watch it.
I agree.
I like watching Street Fighter. It's entertaining. We were talking about this earlier. Games you can watch without knowing anything about it.
It's true.
And it still be entertaining. Tekken and Street Fighter 5.
Yeah. I mean, I'm entertained. And, I mean, I've talked to you extensively. I've talked to you extensively about it, and I've talked to Jamie extensively about it.
Yeah, Jamie's definitely heard it.
Street Fighter 5 is not my thing. I don't like playing it. But
so the low kick esports is literally split. The people that actually try to play fighting games, NT, myself, you, Dan, Seth, Bryce. Bryce is okay. So Bryce is cool with Street Fighter 5. NT is in the middle, actually. Dan does not like Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
He tried. He put the college try out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And he got hit with hands, I think, a few too many times. Like, this game sucks. That's his fault, though. You don't like it at all. Viscerally
I don't like
it.
playing it. It's not even everything that the game does in terms of, like, mechanics and everything.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've come to diagnose it. It's game feel. Everything. It's about game feel. It's about how my buttons feel when I hit them.
Yeah.
There's something about the way when I hit buttons in Street Fighter 5, it just rubs me the wrong way. And even, I've noticed this, even with games I do like. I like Exert a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Exert's a really good fighting game. But I was talking with Striken about this on Friday, this past Friday.
Shoutouts to Striken.
Shoutouts. And I was like, wow, I love BlazBlue Central Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about everything, and I was like, this game doesn't even have the best built system in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things that are left to be desired, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, things that Exert has over CF. But I still love playing CF that much more, because the game just feels better.
It feels great.
It feels better to move around. It feels better to hit buttons. It feels better to hit combos. It just feels, general game feel is just better. And ultimately, that's all I want out of new fighting games now. My problem with, like, lots of new games now is because there's, like, one or more things that just, like, completely shit on that. I'm going to put this out there. Air Dash and Tribe feel terrible.
I mean, that's not an unpopular opinion.
No, it's not.
I know
That's
that
why
Leon Massey did like a
30-minute section on it.
It
or
was
some
like a
shit?
30-minute section and like a 2-hour review about how air dashes feel like shit and Strive.
They do, though.
And it's like, the magic of this is I don't have one, so I don't know.
You don't have to interact. So here's the thing. It's like, I played Nago for a long time, you know? I mean, it was my main for a while. But a character that didn't have to interact with that system, and I was like...
Smart move.
I was like, wow, I really wish I could, because it would be really a good utility.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm going to go sub Kai, and I'm going to sub Zato, because I want perspective.
Yes.
And, I mean, Flight's really nice, but it's really slow and whack. But that's, you know, a kink of the character, right?
Yeah.
And then I went to play Kai, and I was like, wow, why does my air dash still feel bad?
Because you feel like you get stuck.
Yeah, no, you're stuck there for like half a second. You're like, why don't I just do the air dash? Why can I air dash back, and that's instant, but I go no distance?
So, like, basically,
You know?
I can, like, I think it's like, it makes it so that you can see it easier. You don't want people just, like, getting jumped in on 1,000 times.
Obviously, there are reasons for that. When I fight Jam and Plus R, literally... she's doing far slash and just IEDing off it over and over and over again. And it's like, react. And it's like, this sucks. I hate doing this. But guess what? At least I can do that too. You know what I mean? I can do that too. And I can have a great time doing it. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
and there's no compensation for like, okay, yeah, you know, I can I can kind of like do a weird like I can FD cancel it and get to the other side and cross up, and I can do some neat stuff with it. It's like that's cool and all.
No, I just
What if I
want to
just
do it.
want to do it?
I just want to do it.
What if I just want
Yo,
to do it?
that's probably my favorite thing about talking to people about new stuff versus old stuff. When you like old stuff, people go, well, you can do X value and it's similar, but I'm like, that's the great value version of that thing I like.
Why wouldn't I just want to do the thing?
Why can't I just do the thing? And they go, well, it's a new game. And it's like, well, this game sucks. They go, well, play the old game. And then you go, well, I will play the old game.
I did.
And they call you fucking boomer for one. And two, then there's like a quarter of the people that will still play the game. And then you go, man, I can't find people to play matches. And then, well, we'll play the new game. And the cycle continues anew.
Yeah.
It is always the same. It's a circle. If you like something older, you will always be told by somebody younger than you in that game, in that series, just play the new game anyway. Dude, I hate that argument. Just play the new game. Just do it.
You've seen it with me. Every time I play a new game, I try it, obviously. And sometimes I do stick to it, you know? Sometimes. I actually really like Soul Calibur 6. That game, God bless. That's all I gotta say. Air Guys, God bless the ring. Yeah, I brought it up.
Wow.
That game is... I didn't know that existed until Friday. But you know what? We're shilling it now. I can't believe I'm running it. No, I'm
Oh my god. Fucking
No,
Christ.
but
Yo, so that's definitely something that's something we wish we could do. Just like a real moment here. Run the just dog shit game.
I mean, Mr. Goo's doing it.
Yeah, Mr. Goose doing it on the side. Like,
God
so
bless.
for example,
Bless.
you take something like, I don't know, Kianta, and somebody goes, yo, dude, Kianta, though, why aren't you guys running it? Should they ever do that? They never would. They know
That
better.
is a crime fighter ass comment.
That is a crime fighter ass.
That was a
fucking-
crime fighter ass sentence right there.
But
He's
like, why aren't you
dude,
running Kianta?
why aren't you
It's
running-
Like, well, because this game is jank as fuck and you know it, and no one wants to compete in it. And they go, well, I mean, but like, I know 3 people that will play it, and it's like, this is not how this works.
That's not how this works.
And you tell them, it's like, well, we have obligations to the venues that we work with to get people through the door.
true.
Should we fail to do that because we decided to run something dog shit that's like
Right.
meme quality?
Objectively.
Like you go,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, we'll just do this anyway. Then we have to answer to our bosses. Those people pay our bills, you know what I'm saying? And then you go, well, I want to play my shitty game. It's like, just bring it then. Just bring it and play it on the side. We can't do
Bring it
that.
and run side. I have no problem with that, right?
I love
if
that.
you want to come in and run Missing Link, be my guest.
Yeah, dude,
right?
be the one to say, yo, why aren't you guys playing Missing Link so I could headbutt your nose?
Right? Why
Right.
aren't you playing Missing Link? Because I can mash air block out of hit stun.
Hell yeah.
That's real. By the
Hell
way.
yeah.
Also, Axel has a move in that game that's not listed in the move list, and they had to make up a name for it in the Dust Loop. That's so funny.
That is really
That's
fun.
so funny. That game is
I mean,
like,
dude, that's like probably how it was for Tekken though, because like
Yeah,
I would
bro.
say a quarter of the move list for each
for sure.
character
Well, even
is
into,
not listed.
Even into 7, there are moves that are not listed.
That's
you know,
facts.
that is a legacy
in
thing
Soul
about
Calibur,
Tekken.
there are hella moves. that are
Right,
not
yeah.
listed.
That's just some. I mean, you know, some games just get away with it, and I mean, it's a legacy thing for them. But
Dude, Yoshi's punch, his mid
Yeah.
punch, it's a really important combo tool. I don't even know what that move is. I don't know what that
I
is
don't
to
even
this day.
know.
I don't know how to do it. I know it's important. I know he needs it. It's a combo starter. It's a combo filler. It does a lot of stuff. It's not in his move list.
that's hilarious.
And I remember trying to tell you, like, oh, yeah, just look it up in the move list. You'll be fine. Went
And
through
then I
the
was
entire
like,
move
wow.
list. Couldn't find it.
Not there. Yeah.
Where's the Soul
That's mad
Calibur
fun.
Dust Loop? Where's it at?
Where's it at?
Yeah.
Anime enough.
Yeah. There it
Anime
is.
enough.
Man, I hate it.
The best part is that I was telling Chuck, and I was like, "Yo, for real, though, that game is actually just like Blades Blue, but in 3D."
It is.
And that's the thing. It's like that's hilarious. I started explaining him all the similarities, and he was like, "Oh God, he's right."
Dude,
Oh, no.
it's like the wavelengths of that game are so weird because in the beginning it's just people just mashing strings and they suck.
It's true.
Whatever, blow ups. You know,
But then you really start like,
but when you
digging
start
in.
to get it,
Yeah.
it becomes a slugfest.
dude, it's tight.
And then
I'm having a great time,
when
I'm not
you
gonna lie.
really get it,
Mhm.
it becomes like when you really, really get it, it becomes literally just 1-2 string, 1-2 string,
Mhm.
1-2 string slugfest for like hard knockdown.
Yeah.
Mix. And it's,
Mix.
Like,
Yeah.
it's guerrilla stuff. That game gets really, really guerrilla. But that is probably the most
I
closest
mean, I'm not gonna
game.
sit here and act like I don't already play games that do that though.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
We all do. I think that's like one of those weird things, like, you know, the boomer versus zoomer thing. Boomer's always saying like, "Oh yeah, dude, like, your game has no neutral," and it's like, dude, you play Third Strike?
You play Third Strike with Yun,
Yeah, like, Yun's just doing grenades.
literally just doing shit.
Like, Chun-Li is whipping crouch fierce from full screen, and then she's like, "All right, I guess it's time."
Okay, I'm gonna sit here and say that is some just oppressive, good old fashioned footsies that lead into Oki. That is incredibly hard to react to.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, she's building.
I get what you mean, though.
She builds the meter.
It's true.
She's going.
No, she has a bar on deck, and it's like, cool. I'm a second away from dying.
Yeah, I don't get to play the game anymore.
Yeah. I don't get to whiff a button at all.
Hey,
my
she
low
did,
forward
she
is
did low
godlike.
forward, and I died.
Yeah,
you know? And it's like
you died because you get put in the corner.
You guys
you get throw looped.
We all play games for idiots. The only people left that are like, dude, I think the most fascinating thing is like ST players, because ST players are just like, dude. It's like it's like they have Alzheimer's or something. They forget their game just they forgot how bad that shit is. You get hit in that game and you explode, and then they look at 5 and they go, "Oh man, 5 sucks. There's no footsies, there's no neutral." And you see Balrog just doing headbutt across the screen.
Every time I see ST, it's always a case of like, either like it's like actually like 90 seconds of neutral, and then they get stunned.
Yes.
One interaction, and then they just die because Sagat got like a random stun off a fireball.
Yes.
And you're like, Jesus Christ, they just died.
Those fireballs.
He was dodging fireballs for 90 seconds and then got stunned off one.
Yep.
It's so funny. That's why
What
I
a
play
good
Sagat.
game. Great
That's
game.
why I play Sagat. For reference.
In ST?
In ST, I like Sagat.
He's a good character.
Sagat's just fun.
He's
I like
also
it.
fun.
I just like Sagat.
He's like, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, dude, you just throw the fireballs and uppercuts people," and it's like that's true in literally any game.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. Zoners are cool.
Zoners are cool.
They're cool. I had to.
We lost a viewer right as you said that.
That's really funny. I definitely showed up in Hotashi's Discord, and somebody was complaining about zoners, and I was like, "Well, zoners is really cool." And then I got fought.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I got fought.
To be fair, the zoner in
Gear
is
in the gear
is
stuff.
Axel, and Axel's.
I understand. Well, that's why I said I was like, I really like zoners in BlazBlue, because guess what? They're really cool.
They are cool.
They are cool.
They're
And
cool
guess
to
what?
look
They don't really exist in any other game like that.
that
Style
that
that specific like niche of zoner doesn't exist in any game that I can think of outside of maybe Under Night. Hilda's probably the closest.
yeah.
You know,
And I love watching Hilda.
that's what I'm saying. She's interesting.
And there's a few Hilda players in our region, so that's really cool. I like Hilda. I think Hilda's dope. I think that zoner haters are in the same vein of grappler haters, and grappler haters are bitches. Like, they're both bitches. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. Everybody wants the same thing.
Do you like my nervous laughing there?
Yeah. Grappler
I have
hater.
a weird case where it's like sometimes I can't stand them, but I don't know. It depends on the game.
Dude, grappler haters are
Depends on the game.
and zoner haters the same energy. It's so it's like, dude, it's real Twitter energy. It's like pond water Twitter energy.
You're free to come through if you. Oh, okay.
But like
What's up?
you what do you call it? You take somebody like, you know, like you go on twitter.com and you see somebody go, "Man, I fucking hate grapplers," and then you like watch their clip and it's like they did everything wrong. Everything wrong, and they go, "Man, grapplers fucking suck."
So when you say that, it's like it's like Chip getting command grab twice, right?
Yeah.
It's like something like that where it's like you didn't jump. You know what I mean?
And
You
you're
didn't
playing
jump.
Chip.
You didn't jump, right? But that's like, I used to get upset at this, but I can't anymore because I have to realize that like, that's just going to happen sometimes.
That's true.
It's just going to happen. And the moment that you accept that and truly accept it, not just say, "Oh, it happens," and then get salty about it. When you truly accept that sometimes that will just happen and you just got to take your lumps, you will never feel bad about it ever again.
Yeah.
And then granted, it may feel bad in the moment, right? But it'll never cross past that, right? You won't sit there going, "Damn, bro, damn, bro, grapplers suck.
I
Grapplers
got
are
command.
idiots.
I got
Grapplers are so stupid. All they do is command grab, and it's like, and you know what? All you do is never backdash. All you do is never jump. All you ever do is fudge jump, right? That's ultimately what it comes down to. It's like you sat there for long enough, you know.
And historically, as we
does
all
happen.
know, most grapplers, are mid to low tier. So now you take a character that is objectively worse than most of the characters I have to play against most of the time. And they go, oh, well, dude, this character's mad annoying. He's so good. And it's like, well, we can look at the lists written by the people you trust, and they say that this character is bad. So you're just saying you're bad? Are we just doing that? Can you just say you're bad?
I mean, I'm just gonna put this out there and expose myself. I've definitely been command grabbed by Tager before. I don't really hate grapplers that much, but it's like obviously getting grappled in the moment and just 50% of your life is just gone sucks, right?
It's just
But
like,
ultimately, I'm just gonna put this out there. I used to play grapplers.
yeah.
It sucks. It sucks.
It
sucks
sucks
when somebody.
to be one.
It sucks because everybody jumps your stuff. Everybody mashes on you.
Yes.
Everybody mashes on you constantly.
And then you get lucky and you scoop a limb and you're like, damn, I'm a genius.
And you're like, this is great, right? But it's like, you have to understand that's where the strength in the character lies, right? That's where it is. But you exploit everything about them that is awful, you know?
I just
Because
think that
they're inherently designed flawed. I mean, you look at Potemkin as a character.
he
The
can't
character,
air dash.
he can't move. The problem is his movement, his hammerfall, is not a solution to the problem, but a problem in of itself. You know
Yeah,
what I
there
mean?
are situations when you do a hammer fall and you still get punished even if you break from a certain distance. And it's like, well, it would have made sense that I should have done that there. Like, I should have hammer fall break to get in. That's why he still has Aegis Reflector, you know?
Yeah.
So he can't.
It's actually better in Strive than it ever has been.
It's really good. I
It
like
is very
it
good.
a
It
lot.
travels much farther. It's really good, and it's a combo starter. You know?
But
For
like
real, for real.
you, when you like look at like people say, man, I hate grapplers. It's so weird because it's like, dude. So like, imagine I fight Seth in Street Fighter regularly. Seth hits 10,000 buttons in my fucking face and is screaming in my ear, react. And I'm like, man, I can't react. I'm fucking dying, right? And then he kills me because that's it, right? And then I'm like, I got one fierce SPD, and I dash up, and I hit forward heavy punch, and I get the fucking headbutt, and then I do another command grab, and it's like, oh, you're an idiot.
Damn.
You're bad. People say shit like that. I had a full conversation, this is a local podcast, with Exia.
Oh, I remember this.
Exia is super drunk.
End of the night,
and
end
he
of the
said,
night.
grapplers don't play footsies. And I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Nobody plays footsies. Nobody does. You're all shit. Everybody's shit. And he's like, I play Kai. And I'm like, you don't play footsies either. I saw what you did from full screen.
I saw them full drawer.
I saw the fucking Fuja arcs. You son of a bitch. Everybody's the same. Everybody
It's
runs
really
the
good.
same shit. They get their knockdown, they run their mix, and they don't like when their mix is interrupted. It's
Yeah.
the same shit. The only one that's different is Zoners.
What? Because they're trying to escape.
They're
Trying to
running.
get the
They're
with
just
you.
running
Yeah.
the whole time.
It's true.
And it's like, well,
Very
they get their
true.
mix, blah, blah, blah. Like Hilda, for example. She's pretty solid from full screen. You just have to deal with, like, hell. Bullet hell on the way.
I mean, yeah,
to
she's
get-
overheading you from full screen.
Yes,
but
from
it's
full
like,
screen.
Yeah.
But other characters like that are like zoners, they're just doing their best to be smarter than you. And then you outsmart them. They're fucked.
I mean, yeah, you get in on them. That's
But
the
they get to
thing.
do their thing as long as they can. So it's so weird that like somebody has picked. Like I go on Twitter, I see Sharpie say fuck grapplers, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You play Skullgirls. Fuck
gonna
that
say,
game in general. Like,
I don't even actually know who she plays in that game.
I don't either because I don't care.
Liza.
She
Eliza?
plays Eliza. Great. Don't care.
Solo.
All I care about.
Solo Liza? Wow. Wow.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. Do you see the amount of retweets that woman generates about grapplers? And I'm like, dude, you're not helping this problem. We're all just playing the same shit. I hate rushdown players. That's 90% of a cast.
Because they're mashing.
Because they're always mashing.
That's
Always.
what the character does.
That's what they do. That's what they're supposed to do. I hate them. But I sound like a crazy person when I go, wow, I can't believe I hate literally Street Fighter 5.
Damn.
That's like, I like that game. And it's like, that's most. Even Seth plays, but not as a rushdown character. That's just what he does. Like, people play characters, they just want to be in your face and just go, like 24/7. That shit sucks.
Yeah, I had
Grapplers
to-
do the same thing. We all do the same thing.
had
We
to
all
fight quite a few rushdown characters in my time.
I hate them.
They're, oh.
I hate them.
I mean, okay, like, I have to fight them pretty frequently.
I only fight rushdown people.
I mean, you have to remember, in the games that I'm currently playing, it's Persona, it's CF, it's Guilty Gear somewhat.
Yeah.
I'm fighting Jinsoku most of the time.
Yeah.
And you know he's playing rushdown characters.
He's only playing rushdown
and guess
characters.
what? He's good.
He's DPing on basically every
Yeah.
knockdown.
And he's
So you
good.
have to respect him. So
Yeah.
you're not mediating. So he's just getting away with murder. Like, everybody.
I mean, obviously I'll medium, but
yeah,
like,
of course.
I will eat a DP.
You're going to eat a couple DPs.
It's gonna happen, right?
But like, when I look at like who I play against in fighting games, I'm always like, I think I've played against Marcus, as in Ramsey.
Yeah, Mark at the Creek.
In-
Yeah.
I have played against him in Street Fighter V one time. I was like, hey man, he was streaming. I was like, hey man, I'm playing Balrog because I just refused to play grapplers. I don't even remember who he played. It was Gil. And he just beat my ass. And I was like, damn, I got lamed out. That felt really good. I had a great time. And he's like, damn, you just kept going in. I was like, that's the game. And he's like, yeah, you're right.
You ain't wrong, yeah.
It's the game.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do that. Even charge characters want to do that. I was talking to Seth yesterday, and he was saying, like, oh, yeah, well, Guile in Street Fighter V is a, what do you call it? He just rushes people down, too. And I'm like, that was not what he was like before. It wasn't like that before. That's what the games are now. Every game has devolved to run your shit. It's not fun. Seth says it's more fun. He's in the background saying it's more fun. I disagree. Running your shit fucking sucks. It's really, 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 really whack. I hate this.
I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna say it's like, it's a problem with like the climate of like fighting games and how
Yes,
the genre has steered specifically
to
towards
run
that.
your shit.
Specifically towards that. Because like I wouldn't necessarily have as big an issue.
Even Sam So added guard
Yeah.
crush.
I wouldn't have as big an issue about certain things like that. And granted, most of the time I don't, because if I don't like the game, I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah.
Right? It's just what
You
it's come
refused
down
to play Sam Show with me.
It's true. And I did try it with you.
He did try.
You actually did teach me some things about it, and there were moments where I was like, "This game's really cool," but ultimately, again, game feel is I think ultimately what it came down to. Which I do it sucks because I think the game is cool, but regardless, most fighting games nowadays do gear towards we want you to just run it,
Run your shit.
run it
Run it as hard as you can.
as like that.
Dude,
that is
like,
I
think
mean,
about a character like Pot. Pot before, slow, but over time, he's gonna get there and he's gonna kill you. Now, he's gonna kill you in one. He hits 2K 2D. What's he doing at the end of that fucking
Garuda
strip?
impact.
He's delaying. He's not doing the Gatling.
Right,
He's
right.
not Gatling into it. He's gonna delay it so that when you wake up, you have to deal with Garuda impact.
no, he does like close slash Garuda or something.
Yeah,
like
close slash-
5K Garuda. Yeah,
You just have to-
OTG.
And it's like,
You gotta hold that.
even as a grappler player, I'm like, I don't like that feeling.
It's really. I mean, it's cheap.
It's so cheap. It's reduced it down to such a simple form, and people go, "Well, why aren't you ridiculous with Pop?" Because I hate that game. That game sucks. But that idea of like, it's like they want every character to be able to run their shit, and it has to look almost the same.
The only character I can feel that only does that sometimes is Faust. That is a character that's designed around playing defensively until he pulls the correct items.
Yeah,
That is what he does. But that's like the exception, right?
Yes.
He's the exception to the game.
Yes.
Because you look at that character, most of the items that he's pulling are very neutral items. Like, when I say neutral, they don't favor either player until someone gets it.
Yes.
Right? So you pull trumpet, you pull donut, you pull banana, right? Maybe you pull a mini Faust, and that's cool, you know? Because that's a good. But like, a lot of the time, you're going to pull some of those items. They're not going to favor him necessarily, but he runs the mix-up of like on himself, essentially. It's like, he's going to randomly be like, okay, now I get to go in. Okay, no, I'm going to play defensive for a while because this is how I have to do it.
He sees the item go up, and he goes, "Okay, cool.
Oh, cool,
this-
hammer.
Hammer.
Neutral has ended.
Neutral is over.
Yeah.
Run it
Run it.
now."
Run it now.
And it's like, dude,
If you mash on me, there's enough hit stun on that on counter hit that I'm just gonna kill you.
Yep.
Like, you're in the corner, 5H, 5H, throw it at the wall, all that. Do the big combo, get the wall break.
Do the big combo.
Big combo.
Do
exactly.
the just frame with the golf club.
It's really hard.
Yeah, it's not
I
easy.
practiced it for a little bit. It's kind of hard. But either way, a lot of fighting games nowadays have geared towards that. But I wouldn't have as big of an issue. I mean, rather, I guess, I don't know. It just seems like it's what most fighting games want to do.
They want you to die, but it's not in a way that feels like good.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that fighting games in the past weren't that already in a lot of cases.
Dude,
Guilty Gear definitely.
Guilty Gear definitely.
It's like the definitive,
Marvel
like
literally exists.
Forever.
It's always been that.
It's been a kill game.
And it's fascinating. Like, you listen to like Chris Matrix talking about that on No Frills, and he's just like, man, Marvel 3 fucking sucks. Like, everybody does too much damage. X Factor sucks. And it's like, I mean, dude, but you play a game where if somebody blocks in the air twice, they fucking die.
It's true. It's true. You lose the character. You're incoming.
You lose a character. Another character comes in, and then they die.
Yeah, and if they have enough meter, because you let them build enough meter, because you let Storm go enough times, they have another meter to kill another character that comes in.
That's facts. So it's like I don't care. Shut up. Like you played a trash game.
Obviously, you have to play neutral to be able to do those things. You have to play it effectively, but your payoff is that you now don't make sure that your opponent doesn't interact ever again. Mm-hmm. Because if you do it correctly, they actually just never get to interact again.
Like you can go down the history of fighting games and like what games are like about interaction versus like objectively, like as much interaction as you can versus which games are not. And the list is probably pretty short. But this feels like that list is...
I'd say one of the only games in recent memory that I think breaks that mold is probably Under Night.
Yeah.
I think Under Night does break that mold, which is cool.
That game is definitely a conversation-ass fighting game.
For sure. You are playing the conversation game. If you don't want to play the conversation game, you are just dead.
Yep.
You have to play the conversation. Which is why I don't play it.
Yeah.
I talked to Havard about that. That's real. Because that is a game where I'm not necessarily super invested, right? I mean, I play lots of games, but the games that I really, really like, I play for real, right? Under Night's not really one of them. Not because I hate it, but because that game is built so well that I don't want to play it because you have to interact with your opponent. I can't just pick up a character and run my game all the time because I have to interact with my opponent and I don't want to do it. Yeah. I want to run my game in that game because I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't actually care that much.
So, like, obviously I play characters that are designed around the idea of do the thing and then run your shit.
I'm going to have to interact with my opponent in that game. That's how it is.
Because the game is built well enough. Is please make sure that you are interacting on both ends of that game. That is the game.
And ultimately that's really good because it's a well-designed fighting game, all things considered. Obviously there's some heinous shit in that game.
Of course.
Because there is in every game.
Yes.
There's definitely, I mean, Batista exists in that game and her vorpal trait, she can't get countered.
It's a really good.
So good.
It's really good.
Like there's some heinous shit in that game, but it's like ultimately, that is a really well-designed system because you have to, if you want to be good at the game, you have to actually be good at that game. You have to actually be good.
Yeah, you're rarely going to have an opportunity where it's like, hey, I did crouch medium kick, activate.
No, that game's real.
Into mix.
Like, if you are actually good at that game, like, you are actually good. There's no, like, Johns about that.
Oh, Bryce says that's not a vorpal trait.
Oh, is it not vorpal trait? What was it then? Is that just the whatever, what do they call that? It's like just the passive that everybody has, that passive trait or whatever.
I can't say that I know because I don't care.
Well, either way, she has that, and it's really funny.
But like amongst the games that I play, I know that I play characters that are like just run your shit. And like with Street Fighter, I played Zangief, and Zangief is super run your shit, but it's so painful to get to that point that
but when you get in though.
Yeah, but when you get in,
when you do the thing. When you catch that backdash with the EX green hand, or you trade, or I thought you were saying 5.
In 4, I don't play Zangief because he's hard. Like he's a lot of execution requirements.
Yeah, but he's cool. He's cool in that game. He's got tons of cool stuff. Just can't be counter hit because of it's lore. I thought that was like a trait that she had because like that's like what the game dictates. Everybody has that trait. I understand everybody has a vorpal trait, but either way, that's really funny. That's Wow. Lore reasons.
I'll never forget that time Greatest Gamer came into my chat when I was streaming something and said Akuma should be the best character in the game because lore reasons. Shut up. Nobody
But
was.
he was already the best character. In the
Yeah,
game
at the time when he
at that
said
time,
that,
he was already
Akuma,
the best character.
I
in the
know. I was
game.
like, I don't think Akuma should be as good as he is all the time. I think that he should be strong.
I think he should be strong because he dies.
Yeah.
But I mean, another issue of like everybody dies in Street Fighter 5.
Everybody.
I will say though, in previous Street Fighters, if you get jumped in on, you just die almost no matter who you are. The only exception is like if you're a high health character. If you're Zangief, that's your exception. Those are your exceptions. If you get jumped in on, it's not going to be as bad as other ones. But like, regardless, off like regular stuff, like a lot of characters are dying really quickly. You know what I mean? The sequences that you get put in, coupled with what you can and can't do, makes it so that everybody's incredibly potent and impotent.
Yeah, I mean,
on
like,
defense.
dude, like, it doesn't matter what
Granted, there are
character
strong
you're
defense
playing.
options
There
in
are
that game,
definitely
but-
like if you run the right offensive sequence in Street Fighter V specifically, that is a game where you hit your very specific thing, run it. They have to guess twice.
Right.
They die.
But now you get to pay attention
It's
to
like
how they guess. And if they don't understand that it's a guess entirely, you just get to run that and expose it.
Yes.
Right?
Like you get like characters like Cammy and Seth and what do you call it, Akuma, that are low health. But it's like that low health is a factor in neutral, not in the
not necessarily the
not
thing
in
that
the
you're
real
gonna,
win condition, but the neutral.
No, yeah, you're gonna eat a stand fierce and you're gonna go, oh my god.
Yo, you hit Akuma with Balrog stand fierce, and he's thinking about just ending it all.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like in just regular interactions, not even just like I gotta jump in. It's like no, like of course it's gonna hurt no matter who you are, but in just regular poking, you know,
that's where
that's where it's gonna matter the most because you're gonna think, man, do I really want to extend that win? Oh god, Rose has a bar.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
She's gonna go and just EX
kill.
drill.
EX
and it's
drill.
gonna really hurt.
And
You're gonna
kill
be in a knockdown situation. She has Soul Satellite on. It's all downhill from there. You know.
I mean, I'm trying to imagine. So like the game that I play that isn't just run your shit hard body. There isn't a game that I play that's like that now. But there are games that feel more like that than others. Obviously, Street Fighter V is like the peak. That is the peak.
You don't think Soul Calibur?
Soul Calibur.
Small Caliber is a thing.
Yeah, I gotta say that like I like that expression at the beginning of Soul Calibur, and then I realized that it makes you sound like an idiot because you're just playing fucking footsies. That's just footsies.
Yeah, but they call that. But the reason they call that Small Caliber is because the game's so explosive.
Yeah, that's true. It is.
It's to offset that.
But we
because
do play explosive characters in that game.
But here's the thing: is like people want to lie about that.
They do.
People desperately want to lie about that to make their game sound smarter.
Yes.
Because here's the thing: listen to people talk about how Soul Calibur is, very footsie-based game. Granted, there are footsies in that game, but ultimately, your goal is to run it
hard.
You want to run it. That's what you want. That's your goal. Ultimately, you are just gonna run it.
There are characters that are designed around the idea of checking you for what you know, and even if you have the right answer, okay, well that just puts you in this situation, which is slightly less bad than that one, and you just run it over and over and over again. Those characters exist. Taki. Those characters are in the game. It's like, it's not a punishable situation. It's just a less bad situation. But you're still in a situation.
Yeah.
Every game I play has some stupid shit in it. I think Soul Calibur is like, it's middle. It's the middle. If I were to like take the games that I play, the least dumb shit versus the most dumb shit, Sam shows at the top.
I think a lot of it has to do with the volume of characters who do that too. Because when I think about it, like I don't think Blizz was that kind of game, but when I have to fight Carl, you are just in a situation back to back to back if you get hit. If you get hit once, you are in back to back to back to back. Guess what? This situation's super plus. I'm looking for you to mash here. Guess what? I crossed you up anyways.
I
Guess
remember
what? I left
like
righted you. I high lowed you. I did all this. I command grabbed you now because you thought I was gonna do my plus stuff. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many layers, and it's like there are very few characters in a lot of these games that really just do that. I'm just gonna run it. But when you feel it more when there are more and more characters that do that sort of thing, right? That are just running it. As
I said, there's not a lot of games that I can think of where I'm like, Like, dude, I play Sam Show and I play Tam Tam in that game, and I'm just happy to play Tam Tam. I just feel like I'm playing fucking footsies. The closest thing to running my shit in that game is that I just do instant overhead, like point blank instant overhead, jump back.
And more or less, it's a simple game.
It's that. I mean, there are characters that really do be running.
Which
shit.
I do think works to its advantage.
Yeah, because it's a good, healthy mix of both. But that's like the top. If I were to like tier list maker this shit, top tier for people running their shit versus not running their shit, it's Sam Show. And then the next game that I play Street Fighter, I play Sam Show, and then I play, what do you call it? At one point I did play Tekken. I would say, so it goes Sam Show, then Tekken, then Street Fighter. Street Fighter is oppressive. Even Yipes calls that game oppressive.
Yeah.
If there's one person to call a game oppressive and you know it means something, it's the guy that plays the game that is designed around sucking in every way possible. He played Marvel 3 and Marvel 2.
Yeah.
Those games are oppressive as fuck. Making your opponent block is a win condition in that game. That's fucked up.
I mean, yeah, for the characters that he plays.
Yes.
It is a win condition just to make them block.
Yep.
But, you know.
Crouch sword, crouch sword, crouch sword. Well, crouch out, crouch out, crouch out with Magneto. You're in a mix. It's like,
yeah, you're in mix.
You're in mix.
You're in mix. That's what it is. But, you know. I mean, games being oppressive, that's not. Ultimately, for me, I care less and less about it as time goes on.
Well, because that's it.
Well, that's yeah, that's the thing. The genre has
That's
really geared towards that, right?
So it's like
there's a lot of games doing that right now, and it's like I could drop off fighting games entirely, or just play games from the last decade, which, to be fair, I am doing.
Yes,
I am doing.
We're doing both.
I am doing that, but there are some games from the past couple of years that I do enjoy. I actually really like Soul Calibur 6. I think the game's really good. I also like Mbon. Haven't played it much recently.
Yeah, that's something we could talk about.
But I do think that game's really fun.
Mbon has been showing up at Ignite for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. They're bringing it through. Pal Grady and his pal, I don't know his name.
He doesn't have a tag yet.
Right, he doesn't have a tag yet. Yeah.
He hasn't picked it. And I'm not going to call him by his government because I don't know him
Right.
like that. And I don't know his name in the first place.
Right, I'm just saying Grady's buddy.
Yeah,
He
Grady
also brings the setup.
Yeah, I mean, he brings the setup, and they bring the monitors, and I bring my PS4, and Seth brings his PS5, and Grady brings a Switch, and I bring a couple monitors, and
Yeah.
it's a very involved process, but the game's been really fun, and we've had some people casually poking in to play it, which is it's cool. That game is really entertaining.
It's a weird case. It's like whenever I watch it, I'm like, there's so much going on in this game. Like when you think about general character strength and you think about how the game works itself, I didn't know blocking existed for a while in that game.
Yeah.
Because blocking's unorthodox in that game. You do it in very specific situations. It's not like fighting games where you just block a lot.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I play RX-78 in that game, and it has a parry, and I use the parry over blocking.
Yeah.
Because the parry's a forward advancing move.
I have characters that auto guard off their attacks, and that's my best defensive option against certain things. It's an attack that auto guards. That's my defensive option, is an attack. You know what I mean? Not blocking. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's a good time though. Because the game is cool, because a lot of the game is built around, I guess, interesting movement. But again, it's also a resource management game too.
Very, very.
There's a ton of resource management built into it, and that's another thing I enjoy that stuff.
Ammunition and your boost.
And your boost. And
you
your burst.
land on the ground, you fucking die.
It's true. And that simple realization really makes me enjoy that game, because that game is complex but simple at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you could just live by that line of thought of like, okay, when my health is low, I can run away for a while. If my opponent's health is low, I'll support them for a bit. That's all you need to know, team-based, really, right? And granted, there's more nuance to it.
Hey, I just spawned in. Is my opponent paying attention? Let me just drop this beam real quick.
Let me drop it.
Drop
let me
the
aim
beam.
it. That's cool. And I'm gonna leave it and pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of nuance to it. But at the same time, there's a lot of simplicity to it. And I think that approachability is really nice.
I think that the game is really complex, but that game is perfect in the sense that remember when they were like, yo, Granblue has simplified fighting games in the perfect way. You don't have to do motion controls anymore. Everything's on cooldowns. Isn't that cool? Fucking no. First off, that shit sucks. Learn how to do a fucking flash kick, you scrub. And second off,
Does that game even have flash kicks? I don't think
no,
it does.
it doesn't.
I don't think it does.
Wait, Charlotta?
Oh
Charlotta.
yeah. You're right. I was gonna say I don't remember. That was a genuine question, but
Yes,
either way,
he is butt slam. But you go,
Butt
so
slam.
you take a character like Charlotta,
Mhm.
and then you're like, dude, look at all these cool things that you could do with the cooldown. Fuck that. Fuck all that. Mbon's like, you hit 2 buttons at once, you get this thing. You hit this direction, you get the other thing. You hit this direction, do the other thing. This is pretty cut and dry. If you have the red target on them, it's gonna probably hit them unless they dodge it. If you, yeah, Mbon has cooldowns. Mbon has
true.
so many different things, but a lot of those things are negligible if you suck. But it's still fun to play.
I mean, it's a cool. I don't know. It's a cool game.
Like
MMO in general is just a cool.
I
game.
think about. I mean, so Jamie's in the back saying the argument's fault, and to be honest, it's like I'm not coming with a perfectly crafted argument, but I will say that when you simplify a fighting game down and you say this is supposed to be fun, that there are certain, like, have you ever watched Scrubs play Street Fighter?
Yeah.
And it's like that's not fun for them most of the time because
Disagree.
because the things that they're doing, they never get to do the cool thing.
Disagree.
It's inaccessible to them. So you take a game like Grand Blue and they get to hit a button and they get to do the cool thing. They get to hit a button over and over and over again, and they get to do a combo, which makes them feel competent. They get to have that feeling. If you do stand light punch, you're just mashing stand light punch, you're going to get a stand light punch into a stand light punch at best. Counter hit, you might get 3 stand light punches because you're fucking mashing and you suck. The cool things are locked behind a slight amount of effort. In Mbon, those things are locked behind 2 button presses, a direction and 2 button presses, similar to like Grand Blue. But those things are like, they're accessible, but the hard parts of that game are not apparent until you're playing against somebody who's really good at it.
Those things are essential to doing your combo.
Mm-hmm.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
Because you just like fucking roll me up, fucking missiles up, and it's like you just blew it all.
So Seth is basically saying if you send all your shit, you're a sitting duck. But that's something you gradually.
Those systems are mechanically designed to limit your combo. They even have combo.
That's true. They do have combo limits. I mean, well, no, Mbon also has combo limits too. But
I mean, yes, but
Yeah, Mbon actually does have
for real
combo limits.
yeah,
But they're not visible.
Right,
You
it's
can't
true.
see them, and they don't feel like
it does feel bad when you're playing Grand Blue and you get the message that says combo limit. That feels bad.
it feels bad.
It
it
does
feels
feel
bad.
bad.
Because in Mbon, even if you hit combo limit, it's just like, all right, next partner, you know.
No, yeah, you hit the combo limit, the lock goes yellow, and you go, okay, I get to either run Okazeme. Let me check my opponent, right?
Yeah, you're
Are
still-
they okay? Okay, they're cool. Run Oki, right? And
run,
it's like this is
run
great.
the mix.
Right.
Yo, dude, I'm hitting down triangle, whatever that is, the melee, down melee
Yeah.
with what do you call it? So it's 2M. I'm hit with Char with the Hyakushiki. I'm just coming down slash.
With the Pyonkyu, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They wake up, they hit a button. I'm DPing their wake up, and it's godlike.
It's a great time.
But like that, all of those kinds of things, you kind of learn organically as you do dumb things. But you have access to almost everything cool. You hit all 3 buttons at once. When you're in burst, you get to do your super.
I'd say it's a good example of like simplicity. Again, it is like
Simplicity while also being very advanced. That game.
that's true. There is quite a bit of
There's a
nuance.
deep.
There's tons of nuance to that game, which is cool because I don't know. I don't like the idea of like Grand Blue's nuance it's there. There is nuance to Grand Blue, I will say, but it's not as nuanced as I would like it to be. It's not as exciting, I guess.
Dude, like, I remember when I was watching the game and I was sweating it, dude. Like, I was sweating the fuck out of Grand Blue because, like, when a new fighting game comes out, I always watch it because I want to know who the good players are. I want to be able to know what characters are good. I want to be able to understand what the people at my locals are talking about. I want to be able to talk to my people.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm always going to watch it. When Grand Blue came out, I was like, I'm going to watch everything. I'm watching fucking Nerd Josh in the middle of the night. It's like 2 a.m. I don't like watching Nerd Josh streams. It's got weird vibes. Not my kind of vibes. I just like watching people play video games. It's too much talking. Stop talking. Just play video game. I'm watching literally everybody. Sajam's talking about how shitty the netcode is. Like, anybody gives a fuck, they're gonna play it anyway. Like, you got what do you call it? You got, what's his fucking name? You got Kizzy playing that shit. And he's like, yo, this character's fucked up for another YouTube thumbnail. I watched all that shit. And I was like, wow, dude, this game, within like 2 weeks, I could reduce it down to this character's gonna counter hit overhead you in the corner. You're gonna fucking die. And that's the game. But the rest of the game's footsies. Isn't this fun? And it's like, no, it's fucking boring. This game is boring.
I mean,
2H cooldown A.
yeah, I don't know. It's
Cooldown B. 2H cooldown C.
Seth just went down the list of how a combo is actually structured, and I don't give a
It's
fuck.
global. It's global combo.
It is so
see that's the thing. That's like global.
dry. I would make the joke that it's dry like my knees, but Seth dapped me up.
That's
earlier.
true. He really did dap you up.
Like, he really just put lotion on mid.
Dap me up, homie, and give him the kiss. You know.
Yeah.
You seen that? Give him the smooch.
No.
Oh, dap me up, homie, and smooch. But either way,
That
general combos just working for every character is cool, but it's not cool when that becomes your optimal.
yeah,
when it becomes your
optimal,
optimal, that is the issue. Because like I have no issues with like in Melty, where it's like they have the Melty combo. It's like BC air throw, right? Like that is fine. Yeah, Magic Series, right? That's fine. I have no issue with that. My issue lies.
Yo, Frosmos in the chat. Is this a rebroadcast? Absolutely
This
not.
is not. This is live. Regardless. Also, hi, Fraudulent. I saw you on Friday.
I saw him
That was
literally
tight.
yesterday.
That was tight. But as I was saying, Magic Series. I'm fine with every character being able to utilize that base system combo. But when that becomes your optimal, that is my issue. That becomes my problem, right? That feels, I don't know, just wrong. You know, right? Like,
yeah,
it
I mean,
doesn't
dude,
feel
like
right.
it doesn't feel good. Like, could you imagine like you're playing Street Fighter and you get like you hit somebody with like Ryu's forward medium punch? It's like, what's my optimal combo here? And it's literally just light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, quarter circle forward, light, medium, heavy punch at the same time.
And I'm not going to sit here and say everybody needs long combos either.
But they
sometimes
need variety.
So here's the thing. It's fine if like a character's optimal combo, like you look at like a character like T-Hawk or some shit, right? Sometimes his optimal combo is just button into EX Condor.
Yep,
EX
that's it.
Condor. And that's the whole combo. That's a 2-hit combo, maybe like 3 hits.
Yeah.
That's fine because that's what he does. That's his stuff. That's exactly what he does.
That's the thing.
That is exactly what he does. But there are other characters, you look at like Iryu. He's doing full combo videos and stuff like that. If you want to get that in depth, right? But there are other characters who are just linking a Stand Fierce out of something, and it's like, ow, that hurt.
Yo, you're watching Fuerte do Stand
Right?
Fierce 5 times in this godlike.
And that's his thing. That is what's cool. That's
Everybody can do it, but it's not.
Yeah, it's
not
like,
all the time.
Steph
Yeah,
says
exactly.
like you can do crouch. I remember Tugaware said this on the Tuesday show about 3 months ago. He said that everybody can hit crouch medium punch into special move, and it's like lol. Everybody can do it. It's so easy, but that's not the best thing you can do.
obviously, yeah.
You know, you can do like, it's like you can do crouch strong. I mean, crouch strong with Balrog, but your optimal shit isn't crouch strong, rush punch.
Right.
It's crouch strong, stand strong, EX uppercut. That's just godlike, and it's not easy to do. Well, I should say, for me, it's not easy to do. My execution's garbage. But the easy thing, the thing is that I think that game goes, here's the easy stuff. You'll still look like you know what you're doing, but you'll never be good. You'll never be good, but you'll be passable. Grand Blue's like, oh, you know how to do the thing? All right.
Well, yeah, but
You
I mean,
get a
past that, you learn your OSs and you learn your matchups and ranges. Because it's footsies. I'm not going to sit here and act like Grand Blue isn't a lot of footsies either. That's like a lot of the game.
That game
That's
is
a lot
hella
of the game.
footsies.
That game's
And
a
I
lot.
think that is an important element missing from many other games. The problem is that once footsies is over, it's like footsies in that game real dry. Once footsie's over, it's predictable. So it's like a predictable sequence of events. You know exactly what it's going to be the entire time, and it feels bad to watch.
I feel bad saying it. Bryce just left the chat recently, but I remember watching, I think it was Evo either last year or the year before, and watching Under Night. And I was telling you, I was like, okay, cool, he's gonna get his recos, it's Hyde. Okay, the CSDP is coming.
Yeah.
And then it came like the next second. And I was like, that's bad.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
like,
bad.
dude,
That
there are
feels
just
bad.
certain games that, like, you watch them,
Sometimes,
and
like,
they have, like, they're so sequenced out. Like, Street Fighter V has the issue
if I can
that
say that,
the
if I can say that
optimal
most of the
combo
time,
in the game,
that's a
the
problem.
optimal combo in the game always looks the same. That game, the most optimal shit will always look the same. You see, like, the best shit in that game, always. You know, like, hey, if Balrog gets a jump in, my jump in combo is the same as Brian F's jump in combo. Is the same as fucking Brazilian best, what do you call it, Balrog. Is the same as the best Japanese Balrog. It's the same. And that doesn't feel very good because the previous game had sauce. When you wanted to get the max damage and squeeze it out, everybody's looked a little different, but they found a way to do it. That was
it's
cool.
hard though. It's hard.
It was hard.
It's very hard.
5 doesn't have...
It's not as much.
Yeah, 5 doesn't have anywhere near as much of that in 4. Like, 4 has a lot of that, but, like, you're just looking for variety in characters. You're looking for, like, diversity. So, like, in, like, simplicity versus what do you call, like, when you take a game that's, like, as simple as Grand Blue, it's like, I look at, like, something like we were talking about M-Bond. That game has a lot of very simple mechanics in it, but you won't know the hard stuff until it hits you. You won't even know that, like, you're being fucked up for that game for dumb shit until someone tells you.
So,
but that's okay because the game at a casual level feels good to play, and at a high level is crazy. But those things are still there, and it's not like they can break the shackles of a combo limit. They can't break the shackles that literal buttons are 2 buttons at the same time, you know, all that kind of stuff.
I'm in a weird spot where it's like, fighting games nowadays are more popular than ever, right? There are more fighting games now at a given time than ever.
Well,
maybe not the late 90s.
The late 90s.
Late 90s, to be fair, Capcom was actually just on crack.
They were just printing video games. They make a single player
But
fighting
that's what
games.
I'm saying is like they didn't give a fuck
They
about
did
like
that.
they actually didn't give a fuck about that. They were just like, we're gonna put out Power Stone. We're gonna put out 2 versions of Rival Schools and then leave. And we're gonna leave
Forever.
for until 2021. I'm just saying,
Darkstalkers is not dead.
Like, they did
still
not-
the
but-
most
but
offensive
here's the
thing
thing.
I've ever seen at a Game Developer Expo ever. Fucking Yoshinori Ono's like, yo, this is Scarlet. Don't worry about it, Scarlet. It'll be back. It's Scarlet. They released that shit on PS3 and we're like, all right, see you later. Hey,
on Xbox.
check out this sick ass Chun-Li costume, pussy.
Damn.
Eat shit.
But that's what it's like. It was a different. That
You like Demetrius? We gave one of his moves to Stab.
Demetrius. Demetrius.
Exactly my point. It shouldn't be that bad. I shouldn't say Demetrius when I mean Dimitri. It shouldn't go that far. Now, KOF, obviously, that's an issue because there's a billion niggas in that game.
There are a lot of characters, but also I would argue that a lot of characters in KOF function more or less the same in a lot of ways. They all have their specific functions on what they're good at. If you learn how to fight one character in that game, you learn how to fight 3 other characters. And that's not a hot take. I've listened to KOF players talk about that.
Yeah.
That game there's a lot of characters that are homogenized in that way. They just look different, right? There are some characters that just look different, right? But the things that they do are very similar, right? Because they need to fulfill those functions on a team-based game.
It's true.
And that's not to the detriment of the game, I don't think, because it's a team-based game. You need to have that sort of thing. That climate makes sense for that genre.
Sorry, I got distracted thinking about KOF, and then I thought about Shermie and the...
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
See that Hanny art? See that Hanny?
Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah.
either way,
Quality artist.
quality. But either
Shout
way,
outs to that blasted salami.
know.
I could get into that conversation for the rest of my days in the FGC.
Oh my days.
That man is really going through it right now. You saw that thread on Twitter. The 8-section thread is just like, man, there's some real snakes over in the big business on the opposite side of things that I won't specifically name, but you know exactly, Bandai Namco, who I'm talking about. That like weird, very tight circle of specific individuals shoving out one of the best content creators in the business.
It's true.
That was a personal, like, I was really bothered by that.
I mean, yeah, I feel for him, right?
Because it's like, dude, you make the best shit.
No, I did Tekken recently for a couple nights because a friend of mine was like, yo, we should play Tekken sometime. And I was like, we don't really play fighting games together at all, but like, if you want to play Tekken, let's play some Tekken.
Yeah, sure.
Right? I don't play Tekken like that. You know that.
Yeah, I mean,
we mashed T5 DR.
Yeah, we play more Tekken 5
than we play Tekken 7.
It's true.
And like, I was like, whatever, let's play some games. And I was like, let me look up some resources and whatnot. Last Salami puts out some really strong stuff.
Yes.
Very strong, competent stuff. That's the other thing that is an issue with a lot of resources in the FGC, is that they have to make competent resources, Laying on all that information all at once can be abrasive.
Yes.
Right? It's abrasive, it's a lot.
But yet they do it in a way that's concise, but it keeps your interest, and it doesn't cut the fat. That you need it. You need it all. You need the whole thing. They're not trimming anything down, but they keep everything tight so that you're entertained while simultaneously learning. Best content in the business. I'm going to say it a fucking 1,000 times.
It's true. Shout out to Arya.
Yeah, I mean, the man's great. He's commentated for us for a few times. I love him. He's nothing but a nice person, and I appreciate him. So to see him being treated that way by the big business, because you know how that shit sucks.
Feels bad.
But it's a very real thing. And
one of those harsh realities.
Yeah, it's like the regular FGC doesn't know, like, how that is. Like, you say the wrong thing about someone, or like a group of people, or like a game or anything. Dude, like, I remember when, like, they used to do the Wave Dash podcast, and I used to listen to Wave Dash every week.
You were telling me about it.
I love Wave Dash. And then, main man Sweet be saying some shit sometimes. It's like some hot takes. But I think that was the appeal. And obviously, fucking Frame Whisperer was saying some weird raunchy jokes that kept me, like, it made me not want to listen to him sometimes. But it was whatever. It was fine. And Arya was like the middleman, right? You take, like, this group of people, and then, like, they go, hey, let's have some of the more informed members of the community sit down. Let's talk about this game that we really like. And then they go, like, the podcast comes out, and, like, the secret triad is just like, yeah, these people are just scrubs. What does their opinion matter anyway? And it's like,
I mean, that's an old guard thing, right? I mean, and if you've been around for any kind of legacy game like that, there's always that old guard that's always, has that attitude.
Tekken is definitely unique in that the old guard is still, like, they're just shitty sometimes, but they're very relevant. It's not like Street Fighter where, like, if Daigo doesn't like you, he's speaking Japanese, you don't know what the fuck he's saying, it doesn't matter. Right? The old guard is Japanese in Street Fighter, with the exception of a few people. Most Street Fighter players now are new players. You think Punk is a godlike Street Fighter 4 player? It's pretty good, but it's not. Yeah. It's not like that. But like with Tekken, the good players have been good forever, so their opinions really matter. But
there's some, Tekken goes deep with some of those people. I mean, that's just it gets real.
The same people are running the same events, are the same people that have been on commentary and have always been on fucking commentary
forever.
The same people streaming the shit, it's always been the same. So of course they see something new and they go, it's threatening my relevance. Shove it out of there. And it's like, but this is the best thing. You should be happy that he would stop in your game and go, let me create something positive for it. But instead, they shoved them away, and it killed me, man.
Yeah,
because I talked to him about it. I was like, this shit sucks. He's like, yeah, it does.
It does.
I don't want to say much else about that. But that's just like that's a thing that, like, players are weird, because, like, you would think they'd be more informed about the things that happen in their game, but they never know anything. It's as if everything they get, every every little moment of their life is just Twitter information and Twitch streams.
Oh.
It's like you talk to someone and it's like a real life hook sub. Like everybody's just a real life hook sub. They don't know shit about
real life hooks up, replies, damn, it really be like that.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
Like,
dropping a few hook emotes in there.
Yeah, throwing some guapos in there.
Yeah, some guapo. That's tight.
It's like everybody's like this, like you talk to a player about like shit that's going on in their game and a higher echelon, and they're like, man, I have no idea what that means. But I can tell you all about this bullshit about how this one dude called this other chick a slut. It's like, don't. That's not important.
Right.
This is important. Could you imagine how cool it'd be if Bandai Namco was paying Aria to make content to be like, hey, here's some guides for our 7-fucking-year-old game that people are still somehow playing. That game is a fucking dinosaur at this point. And there's
That's so weird to think about, but it is.
Damn, Jamie's telling us to wrap it up.
It's been quite a while.
But that shit sucks. I don't like it, but I know it. You talk to other TOs, and TOs are like, yeah, we know. Everybody fucking knows. If you have any relevance in like organizing anything, you know that this shit fucking sucks. You have watched the big guy squish the little guy on numerous occasions. That's it. Stop. I don't know what to do about that. I am the little guy. You can't bite up. They'll just fucking step on you.
More or less, I'd say some people out there obviously, extending that hand, right? There are people out there who are extending that hand, but it is few and far in between, especially with some of the larger,
the more
mega, upper echelon of fighting games in the genre, right? And I would say just in games in general. I don't even say that's necessarily a fighting game issue either. That's
I think it's more of a fighting game issue because more people are willing to organize tournaments for this genre.
For sure.
Like there are more. I would say there's more Chicago fighting game tournament organizers than there are Overwatch organizers.
For sure, I agree on that. But I'm saying like the issue of big guy pushing around the little guy probably exists in pretty much every genre of video game. If there's anywhere that there's passion and there's free will, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are people who are willing to give out, their effort for free because of their love of the game, which means free, guys. That means free, right? When people are, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't do some of this for a while just because I liked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not even that I like TO. It's something I do, I volunteer, I volunteer from time to time, and I say, it's cool because I like supporting people with the game. Damn, I forgot. I didn't even know I was getting another.
But we have gone on for a long time.
Quite some
Seth has hit me with the wrap it up from the couch to a table, back to the couch again. So I'm going to talk to you guys for a moment about things that we have coming up.
Important stuff.
That's an obligation that I have to do. You guys have to know about the shit that we have coming up in the future. Seth, can you hit him with the ads? Tomorrow, which is today, because it's 2:20 in the morning. Show up to go to Square Up. The screen is very small.
Here,
for
I
me.
can actually probably change that. Hold on.
Blow that up, Jamie.
Here, actually, I can. Should I do it from here?
Just do it from OBS.
OBS. Okay, makes sense. Oh, yeah, it's more current. It's more current.
All right, so
okay, cool.
That means that. So what is it tomorrow, Seth? Let me ask Seth. Actually, tomorrow is Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Please come through for Mortal Kombat, but also come through for Low Kick Roundhouse.
So
love a good Roundhouse.
Go back, Jamie.
Oh, we're going back?
If you don't show up to Roundhouse for Mortal Kombat, we're just never running it again for anything. I mean it.
Wait, you said Roundhouse or for Square Up?
For both. For both. If we run, are we running Mortal Kombat? Oh, you know why it's not Roundhouse? Because nobody fucking goes that play that game. NetherRealm Studios is based in Chicago. Do your shit. Fuck you.
Let's go.
I'm sick of this shit. That game fucking sucks. And I'm sick of looking at it. But we run the fucking game because you bitch at us all the time. Show up. If you don't, I swear to God, dude, I'm Seth's boss. I don't mean to flex on Seth. If Seth says, yo, we should run Mortal Kombat, I'm going to tell him to go fuck himself. And he doesn't want to run that shit either. Because nobody shows up for that shit. Show up for fucking Square Up. It's tomorrow. It's today.
Please show up for Mortal Kombat.
Show up for Mortal Kombat in general.
If you play Mortal Kombat, please.
I'm not saying please. I don't want you to go.
I'll say please.
I don't want you to go.
I haven't had the
displeasure.
I wasn't gonna say that, but I
up.
was gonna say I haven't run it. I haven't run Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Maybe I have a demographic in Mortal Kombat.
You don't.
Probably. Yeah, I was gonna say probably not.
Nobody does.
But never know.
They don't show up. Fuck them. Next up, we got Roundhouse. Roundhouse is real important to us.
Actually,
we got literally every TO in Chicago that we could think of, with the exception of a couple that we couldn't squeeze in. For them, I'm sorry.
We have quite a few games though.
We have 20.
We have quite a few games, and we have BYOC coming through.
No.
Wait, no, sorry, that's
actually,
being used for other things, right?
Yeah, so like the entire event space is going to be used for simultaneous games being run at once.
Lots
so you
of
got
games.
Waifu Dome, you got Garage Gear, you got
Right.
Super Saturdays,
You're
which
right.
we haven't run in literally 2
Yo,
years.
UGS.
UGS is going to be there.
Love it.
You got, what do you call it, Downtown Beattown all the way from Central now.
Yeah, Marvel Mayhem?
Marvel Mayhem. So you got Marvel 3 players coming through if they come through. If they don't come through, I know that they got way too high to get out of bed. I know what
Let's
that
go.
is. But
yeah.
Roundhouse is going to be dope. I really just being honest, we need that event to do well. That event has to do well, or we can't run another Roundhouse. It's very expensive to do. So please, if you haven't already signed up for Roundhouse,
Please
sign up for Roundhouse. If you're teetering, just do it anyway. Please.
I mean, it's gonna be tight. I'll be there.
I'm going to be there. And by the way, in regards to commentary for Roundhouse, I should be putting out a form in the next day or two. So if you're interested in new commentary for a fighting game, let me know. I'm going to talk to the organizers for each of the games that's being run, because they'll be able to help me pick the commentators that they want to hire. But we will be hiring. So if you don't show up and we hire you to work, I will never hire you again. Just keep that as a reminder. Unless you have a really good excuse.
Yeah.
This is the calendar for FGC meetups. This is so the next Friday. Yes, it's next Friday. We're going to be running Guilty Gear as usual, because that game is it's slowing down a little bit, but it ain't slowing down enough to not run it every week.
It's true.
And then we got Melty Blood. Seth's going to be out of town. It makes me sad. He's going to be in New York, but he's going to be having a good time.
That's good.
He's going to be getting drunk, talking to people about chopped cheese and shit. So that'll be tight. He's going to hang out with Spooky. He's going to make out with a rat in a parking lot. It's going to be dope. He's going to eat pizza that tastes like feet. And then he's going to say it's godlike because he's in New York.
Yo, rat, have some of this.
Yeah,
he's gonna pass the slice.
He's going
to
to
his
wine
buddy.
and dine the rat.
That's
how we got the
He's
kiss.
gonna smooch the rat.
He's gonna smooch it, and he's gonna get bubonic plague. Shout outs to bubonic plague.
Stop.
And maybe he'll go out there. He'll talk to some Republicans. They'll tell him a little something about horse paste. Get that Joe Rogan in there.
So that's for horse.
It's definitely not for horses. It's for people. 100%.
100%. Either way, FGC meetups coming through.
And last on that list is Street Fighter 5.
Oh yeah.
Street Fighter 5. Waning numbers. I understand the game's 5 years old. But I would love to be able to see more people. And I actually want to play in that one. But I can't because Seth's going to be out of town. And it's on a monthly basis. You can see the calendar. You can see the schedule. You see that it says right there, every game is straight down. And then you have one game at the end that's just once a month. It means it is a monthly. Games have been teetering down in numbers. So we're hoping that we can level that out.
Right.
But every month has, every week has Melty. Every week has Gear. Week 1 has Street Fighter. Week 2 has Grand Blue. Week 3 has Tekken. Week 4 has Dragon Ball. And we hope that we can see you guys out there.
Sounds like a good spread to me.
Yeah, sounds pretty decent spread that we didn't come up with
1 to 1 for
minutes
spreading,
before
2
the
to 1 for
podcast.
piping, 1 to 2 for whipping. You know how it is.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. God, I fucking hate you. What's the next
2 to
one?
1 for piping.
All right, so...
this is me.
Yeah, that's
me. I get to talk about this one. This is me and Grady.
Grady.
Double Zeta. You know what it is. We run Wednesday Versus over at Scrims in Lisle, Illinois. I know for some people in Chicago, that's,
It's a bit of a trip.
It's a bit of a trip. But if you can make it out, this Wednesday coming up.
They serve alcohol.
We do. We serve alcohol and we serve pizza, and their pizza's actually pretty decent. I like
and their sandwiches are small but delicious.
That's true. I have had I've had quite a few of the food items now. They got some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
also at a really good price, I have to say.
Yeah, the food
Not
is
like no shill or anything here. I mean, obviously I'm gonna shill, but like
always.
but no,
please.
but like no bullshit. Really good prices on stuff.
Yes.
Like their prices for beer and their
Do
prices.
not bring in outside food or bev.
Yes, do not bring in outside food or bev because straight up, it's probably more expensive than what you're gonna get there,
It's true.
and it's gonna be similar stuff.
Now, alcohol's a little
So-
different, obviously. It's probably a little bit more pricey than what you're used to paying, with the exception of certain things. There is a drink menu that they just put out. I believe I have that in one of our executive chats.
Right, but we'll get that out, and obviously at the venue, you will see it. You will see it.
You will see it.
We will
Please
make
use
you
it.
alert to it. That is there. But regardless, we're gonna be running Under Night and Birth, EX latest CLR, Uniclear, and we're running.
That
Guilty
is an
Gear Strive.
embarrassingly long name, and they should fix it.
It's not, plus R.
That's also
That's
stupid
also bad.
name.
But either way, we're running Uniclear and we're running Guilty Gear Strive this Wednesday.
I'm assuming
Please.
Havard has something to do with a little bit of the Uniclear. Did you get in your ear about that one?
No,
Really?
actually. Well, so I mean that's just an observation for me. I know a lot of the people in Romeoville hang out around there, and
Makes
why
sense.
wouldn't I, right? Why wouldn't I try?
Imagine knowing
Here's
your
the-
demographic.
Here's the thing.
Wow.
I figured I'd extend the hand. You know what I mean? Try it out, see how it goes. I'd really like for people to show up for Under Night, and I'd really like to see that people are still excited about the game because obviously I think the game's cool. I don't personally play it, but I'm just gonna put it out there. I think the game's cool, and I think the people who want to
The people that like it really, really like it.
yeah, and I want to be able to provide that for people because obviously it's hard to provide for everybody.
It's true.
Obviously, it's hard. It's
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like you're definitely gonna have those situations. We've gotten burned on running a couple of games that we probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Me and Seth ran Sam's show. That game is dead as hell.
I mean, I ran Persona last
Like,
week.
let's be real. Nick Cool runs a side tournament for it, and I had a great time playing in it yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a great time. It's
great.
You should never run that as a main game because nobody plays that shit.
But either way,
I love it, but that's what it is. Christian, you ran Persona.
I did run Persona. I ran Persona last week. That game is actually dead.
That game, he learned his lesson.
Hyper dead. And I mean, yeah, it hasn't gotten an update.
So let's not put Uniclear on the list by you showing up to play some Uniclear.
It's true.
Because
exactly.
that's how I think.
Yeah. That's how
If you don't go,
that's how I have to
your
think.
game's dead.
That's how I have to think.
If your opportunity is afforded to you and you decide not to go, that means you don't care enough to be there. And I can take no chances.
It's true.
We have obligations, dude.
It's true. But either way, please come out to that. Be really nice to see some people come out for Under Night. Obviously, see people come out for Guilty Gear because people are really sweating it still. There are definitely a strong number of people still sweating it.
Sweating.
We love to hear it. Either way,
Love
this has been. I can't.
Yeah.
I was about to.
Yeah, we got to cut the stream
we
because I
gotta-
really feel the need to say the N-word right now.
What?
Can't do that.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next week.
That was sick.
Oh, man. God.
Close us out, Jamie. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. That was so good.
Just framed.
That was so good.
God bless them.
Catch you